zoning board of adjustment agenda. Item number 4 is conduct a public hearing regarding a request by the owner and agent of the property situated in the city of Van Alstyne, county of Grayson, state of Texas, being described as G-0851 McKinney Ashley A-G-0851, 166 by 200, daycare, or commonly known as 1531 South Waco Street, for a variance to the city's comprehensive zoning ordinance, section 16B.4, height and area regulations, appendix 1-B, masonry regulations to allow for a reduction in the percentage of masonry required for the property, which is currently zoned commercial district - office, light retail, and neighborhood services, and in parentheses C1. And so we have a presentation. Yes, ma'am.
I just submitted a map. I don't know if y'all need to see that.
Pardon?
I have a map of kind of what we want to do. Y'all need to see that.
Well,
It's already getting it now.
okay, we have copies.
Okay. We're just asking not to have to do the roof or the siding because it's going to be on the current property behind a privacy fence actually. So it's not even going to be seen from the road. Just want to be able to just out through our facilities and we would like to be able to accommodate more children.
All right. Now, and off of Waco, you already have one building, well, one that has the pebble-like masonry on the front,
Yes.
and another that's hardened plank, and those two are visible from the road.
Yes.
But the one that you propose is a building off to the east of the first building. And what kind of material do you want to use?
Well, we're kind of looking at just a metal building. So then we have a metal roof, is what we want to use, and the first building also has a metal roof now. And then all, the street behind us, all of that property is actually trailer houses, and then one house is siding on the whole street.
And I don't want to preempt questions from councilmen, but what will this building be used for?
For more children, so we can increase our capacity.
Is it a different age group?
Just more, we just bring our capacity and actually have a waiting list. So just to kind of fulfill the need of what the things we would like to be able to accommodate more children.
And this is a public hearing, and so did you have anything else to add? You may have questions that you need answers.
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do.
Well, is there any public commentary or questions?
So I don't understand any of this. I didn't want trying to do that reason I came. I understood that this meeting was about
zoning it commercial.
zoning commercial. And do I say something about that, or do I have a right to?
Well, you do have some rights, but I want to tell you first, this is, my understanding is it's already zoned.
It's already zoned.
It's already zoned commercial.
Oh, okay.
And it's been that way for a while. Yeah.
Okay,
So that
that's-
zoning that's a separate matter.
That was all I was wondering about, because I didn't know.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Well, okay, I guess that concludes the public hearings unless you have anything to add. Was there another question?
So basically, the property that she is looking to increase, because the noise level frankly is already kind of at capacity. So the building that she's wanting to add to their existing property, I'm understanding you said that was east of.
Yes, they have one building that's
Right.
that's closest to Waco.
Right.
And they have another building
That's
that's
like
farther away
this.
from Waco.
Right.
And they want to build a third that's off to the east of
Right
first.
right in front of her house where, like you said, the children
that's-
already, my father-in-law drives a truck. When he comes home, he wants to sleep. And already the noise, They've got
It's-
plenty.
Well, and you said in front of, and I misunderstood, so you don't live across Whitfield, you live actually to the east of.
She lives on
No.
Cobb Avenue,
Okay.
on the corner of Cobb Avenue and Highway 5.
Where I face, my front faces their
Playground.
backyard for all the kids play at. It's very loud.
And may I ask, what sort of fencing do you have back around on the, running north and south, that's east of this property?
We have a 6-foot privacy fence now, all along their property. And it actually, we close at 6, so there's, and the kids go in at 5. So there's an hour or two in the mornings they're outside at the most, and then a couple hours in the afternoon. The different age groups are out there, not everybody's out there at the same time. And also that would, part of the playground would actually be moved farther away from her house, because the building is up there, so the playground would go farther back behind the building that we have now. Not the older one, the newer one.
All right, so I see, okay, and tell me if I'm wrong, the building that you're proposing is pretty far up against, nearly up against the fence.
Yes, well, it will be actually like almost to the, like our old building, the newer building. It'll be almost up next to the newer building. So it's actually farther away from it.
And as for the fence that runs north and south, it's on the east side of your property. This new building that you propose would be close up to that fence, which means that the playground would be, the building would be in between the playground and the building. I mean, the playground and the building and the fence.
Yeah, and the playground is, there's a couple different playgrounds, you can separate them by ages.
We're concerned with the playground that runs along Cobb Avenue. So if what I'm understanding,
Actually, that will be, part of that playground now will actually be moved. That's
the
where
other
the building
side.
will be, and the playground will actually be back farther away from you guys, actually not closer.
right, so the building, yeah, I was trying to.
Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Let me grab this for you. Okay.
So the building that we're talking about, what size, I mean, is this a one-story or a two-story? It's a one-story.
It actually won't be any taller than the other one. It won't be as tall as the building that.
Right, the new one that you
Gym area won't be
yeah.
that tall.
I think
And I might add at this point that the masonry requirement we're talking about calls for 60% masonry in the front of the building. Or
60% total in front of the building has to be 100%.
Okay. And so their pebble and concrete front on building number 1 satisfies that.
No, sir.
Doesn't it? Okay. Well, anyway, so the variance that they're asking for is for a variance from the masonry requirement that the city currently has. And you mentioned a truck driver. How does that complicate things?
Well, my father-in-law, he is a truck driver, and he gets home whenever he gets home. So if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, he's gonna be asleep. If he gets home at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, he's gonna be asleep when he first gets home. So if they're talking about moving that playground further away, that just benefits him. You know.
Did you get to look at this?
No, I understand what she's talking about. I know where the playground is now. And if she's talking about moving it over behind the new building they built, then it's further away from where.
Right.
Okay, so whereabouts does,
This is building 1, and all this area here is playground. And so she's talking about putting the new building here, which I'm not sure then where the playground goes, but.
it looks like it would be this area here. It looks like it would kind of constrict this
Yeah.
area a little bit, make it a smaller
So
playground.
the same existing,
Can I show you?
yeah.
It's like, okay, this is Waco Street here. This is the original building. This is the new one we built. This building they're talking about being right here. So this fence actually is going to be extended and come down this way. So there'll be more playground here instead of over where this is now.
Oh,
So this playground still stays here.
That still stays there,
So
but.
it'd be on that back side, or moved.
Yes. Yes, but not more even over down this way.
It won't be
Yeah, it's
on
not-
the ground maybe.
Where is your home?
I don't have no.
Over here.
Right here on
Close
this corner, now off
And
this.
right around the fence.
Yeah, this is all like the privacy fence that's current. What they're gonna do is extend the privacy fence actually, and then bring it down
Still
this
6
way.
foot.
Mhm. Yes.
That's the plan. It's not built yet.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, so does that change your concerns, or is that?
That
Does that
does
make it
sound
better?
that sounds
Well, thank you.
What time is that?
Okay, and the masonry requirement is what they're asking for the variance. And the city is currently in C1 areas, commercial 1, where the city requires 60% masonry, which means that the front of the building, actually any front of the building that faces the street, now this is all enclosed in a fence, and so I'm not sure what that does to us. But the front of the building, any side of the building that faces the street is called the front. And it's supposed to be all masonry. And otherwise, the building as a whole has to be 60% masonry. And that's the variance that they're asking for. They're asking to build a metal building enclosed in this fence. And they're asking for a variance from the masonry requirement. So is that the gist of it?
That's the gist. Yes, sir.
So are there any other questions or comments, public questions or comments? Because this is going to come up again. Not at all.
So, I understand that the variances can be long lasting, right? And so there's concerns for the future, obviously. But in some situations, and I'm not for or against any of this, but I would like to just make a comment as a business owner, that when you see a business expanding, that means that there's not enough other businesses probably to take the overflow. So when you don't allow them to grow, it's very possible that they could go somewhere else. So that would really be my only concern, is not granting something, not making a concession in the case of a business possibly needing to expand and maybe expanding somewhere else. So that would really be my only.
You don't want us running anyone
I don't.
off for the sake of the variance?
Yeah.
Okay. A fair comment? Any other questions or comments? All right, then we'll move on. As I said, this is going to come up again because this item number 4 that we just covered was for a public hearing. Next, we move on in our agenda to items for consideration, and these are consideration for votes from the council. And it's the same item, actually. It's item number 5 now, but it reads, consider and take any action necessary regarding a request by the owner agent of the property situated in the city of Alstyne, county of Grayson, state of Texas, being described as G-0851 McKinney Ashley A-G-0851, 166 by 200, daycare, more commonly known as 1531 South Waco Street, for a variance to the city's comprehensive zoning ordinance, section 16B.4, height and area regulations, appendix 1-B, masonry regulations, to allow for a reduction in the percentage of masonry required for the property, which is currently zoned commercial district office, light retail, and neighborhood services, and in parentheses, C1. So that's the zoning, C1, that's what we currently have. And so, questions or comments from the council? Great.
First of all, from what I understand, the building has already been approved to be built. It is determining what forms they can do it in. They've already, they met all the requirements for building the building there, other than just the cover on it.
Have we received a permit for the building?
Yeah.
No, sir.
No. Okay, so you're just thinking about doing this.
Correct. We want to
Okay.
make sure that we're doing.
My statement on that is that from what I understand about our regulations and about whether we should allow variances from masonry and that kind of stuff is all should be determined by the hardship it puts upon the people that are doing it, and if, and that kind of stuff. Have you declared any hardship to not be able to do it if it's required to be masonry or anything like that?
It's, we got the final numbers from the builder, it's a $20,000 difference. To be able to do metal or to be able, or to have to do the masonry. And it's, I mean, we want it to be a nice facility, but like I said, it's gonna be enclosed behind the fence, you're not gonna be able, more like a workshop.
Yeah,
type
I understand.
And that's what we're trying to do, is give the best care at the best price, honestly.
Okay.
Financial hardship is not a hardship.
So it's not a hardship? Okay. So under that basis, then I would see that there would be no reason to allow a variance. You know, I'm not sure which side is actually, where the 40-foot side, it might make a difference as to whether the 40-foot side is the one that faces the street or the 50-foot side is the one that faces the street, as to how much would be required. I don't know that yet. But other than that variance, I see no reason to change the code that already is in place. I think we've done that too many times in the past.
And what he's saying there is that it's pretty specific in our code. Hardships, you have to be able to claim a hardship, but purely financial, the difference in costs isn't included as one of the hardships. As a matter of fact, it's a pure difference in cost is disallowed as a hardship.
One thing is, we don't want, there's nothing else brick anywhere in that neighborhood, like on that street, and there is no, that's my point, is too, there is no street facing. I mean, I don't know which side you call the street facing, if it is back behind, it is, I'm not sure.
Well, a valid point, but up and down Waco, there are lots of houses that are brick houses. Not all, but there are many that are. So that's going to complicate things. Are there any other questions or comments?
What's the current facilities? I know is one of them completely sided?
Yes.
Okay. What's, what is, was that one built with a variance? Or was that, or did our zoning change?
It was built, I guess, under the past zoning requirements. I'm not sure.
It'll be 5 years old. I don't know if that helps anything.
I'm not sure what the past administration, whether they brought it to you or not.
I believe I was on the council at that point in time, it never brought us anything about it.
Well, my biggest concern is this one being all siding and then making them put, it seems like the variance needs to be given based off of keeping some consistency with their facilities.
Building one's a pebble aggregate, which are going to fall within any of our requirements.
Part of it's also the sun.
Half of it's a metal building, half of it's a pebble aggregate. So we don't really have any consistency there.
And their newest has no masonry. And then the building that's going to be essentially like a shop building, more or less hidden by a fence. I mean, I kind of feel like the variance needs to be allowed so we're not making them put masonry in a, and this one should, in my opinion, building number 2 that was built 5 years ago, if that one was masonry, I can understand us holding true to, but it being so new, this one that's going to be hidden, having to have masonry, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Building 3 is going to be a metal building now, so it's going to be consistent with the
Yeah.
But it also could be unseen now, but if the whole thing sells and becomes something else, then you can make their own fence, and now you've got this.
I'm thinking more in consistency. I
But
mean,
it still would not be illegal, because it's a metal building.
would siding be something that could be entertained?
We can do whatever. The one reason with the metal too, the building 1 does have a metal roof. now, and then it's the big one got it, so that's kind of, that's where it's gonna be closest to, that's kind of what we were thinking, we want to know that actually, because building two is a little tall, you know, it's what tall compared to the gym area. So it's, we thought it would make it look better to match that one, so we're trying to do it.
Can I say something also? In that whole area, on beyond them is the water company. That isn't masonry. Cobb Avenue isn't masonry. Across the street is an open field, Georgetown. I'm sure eventually we'll fill that in, but at this time there isn't. You have to go 2 or 3 blocks down. You guys are calling it Waco Street, I call it Highway 5, before you come to Masonry Homes. And all Cobb Avenue, none of the structures in that area are masonry.
Appreciate your comments about Cobb Avenue. As I said, further down Waco, it becomes, there's a lot more brick, but it's
Right.
mixed. Even then, there are wooden frame houses and there are.
Right, I'm just thinking in that general area between, say, Cobb Avenue and FM 3133, there's no masonry.
And we're talking about two different zoning classes, and we moved past the double tier more into like.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate the comment.
Is there any way Cobb Street would be paved?
That's a different.
That's a good public comment, and you can fill out a little form back there and speak for 3 full minutes on that. That's all right, we're way off the agenda now, no problem.
Okay. I would like to echo Russell's comments. I mean, he spoke word for word what I was going to recommend. It would be, to me, I understand what the ordinance is, that if it's going to be new construction, it's supposed to be masonry. But when you don't have any masonry around there, you've got 2 different types of buildings sitting there, you're putting a third type of building on that property. So to be consistent, it should match one or the other of those 2, or at least be similar to those 2. I wasn't aware that there was a fence that was going to be surrounding the whole thing. In my judgment, the fence is hiding it from the front of the street. Therefore, there shouldn't be 100% requirement on either one. I mean, if the fence is hiding the building, then I don't see why it has to have the 100% facing on the front.
6-foot fence is not going to have to. It's going to have some of the buildings that show.
Okay, are you going to be able to pull up in front of the building there with the fence there? I don't think so. Why would that? I mean, you're not facing the street because you don't have an entrance to the building, the parking area for that building right there. If you're looking at these 2 right here, you've got this, right here is facing Waco Highway 5. This one here across the parking lot is facing Waco Highway 5. This one, there's no entrance to this building except this parking lot. And there's a fence between this building and this parking lot. I mean, there's a building inside of it here, building inside of it here. It is not facing the street.
Backside. Or, I don't know, I have no idea where the door is, so therefore I don't know where the front is, where they consider the front.
Well, there's not going to be an entrance from the street to that building.
Probably not.
So therefore, I would not call that the front of the building. Okay, that's my,
The actual front of the building will be facing building number 2.
where the little door looks like a little entry right
Will be
there.
into that building.
Okay. So I would be for granting a variance that would be compatible with the 2 buildings that are beside it. That's fine.
And Ms. Kelly, I don't know how much of that you were able to hear.
Yeah, I can hear it all, actually, and thank you for showing me the map. That's, the assumption was in my mind, because I know the property. I agree with 2 points. I think Robert's right. It's not truly facing the street with it being fenced in where it's located. However, I do feel
And we have two buildings, the two existing buildings they don't really match. What would you, do you have a proposition or, well, we don't need to propose anything, it's up to the owners
No,
to
I think
propose.
I just simply like to see a plan where it's more cohesive as it relates to the buildings altogether.
I didn't see, get that last part, what?
Cohesiveness. She'd
Yeah.
like to see some reform
She'd
In
like to
that
see some-
neighborhood or in the
on this
laws?
property.
So that's more masonry and not.
So she wants to see a hardy plan?
Would you, well, and so far the choices are a kind of a pebble aggregate, we called it. And the other building, the pebble aggregate faces Waco, and I think it's just on one side of the building, just on the front. And the other building is all hardy plank. And so, what, do you have a preference?
I think that the hardy plan probably is sufficient where it is for that building is located.
Am I speaking again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The only part I hate to see us do is, that, as we've done in the past, if somebody comes in and asks for a variance, we have a tendency to go ahead and give it to them. And that says a precedent to where, I'm all for going back and reviewing the rules, and let's change it to where hardy planks are allowed, or let's do something to make it, to where if we're gonna override it anytime anybody asks for it, which we've done in the past, then we might as well go ahead and change the laws and say that you can do whatever you want to. If that's gonna make it a real bad looking town, but if that's the choice of the council, that's the choice.
If I may make a comment, I don't think that's what we're doing here. I think this is an exception, it's not the rule. Therefore, a variance should be granted. I mean, if we're not, it's not like we're knocking down these two buildings or moving these two buildings out of here and putting a nice new building on the property. That would require the masonry. But if these two are going to stay and you're going to put a similar one there, I don't see dropping a masonry building in there that's going to put three different types of buildings on one piece of property. That's going to look more
So
like you're talking about.
Are we gonna tell them what kind of, that they have to use hardy plank then? Are we gonna tell them we have to do something else? Or are we gonna just?
I'm
let them
saying not
put in a
masonry.
A metal building, then it's okay since we're not really doing anything?
You know, I see a kind of a conflict here in even the vote that we can take. And I don't know if it means we need to table this or not, but it's been suggested that there be some consistency. The vote here is strictly on a reduction of the percentage of masonry. So we can vote yes or no on that. And then I don't know, when would it go back to P and Z?
It's never been percentage.
If they want to be hardy plank versus.
Giving it an option, besides recessing executive session.
Well, we would need input from part of the law.
You've already received it in public hearing. If you want to ask me a question, you can do it. And then you go into
Okay. Okay, can I ask a question, or do we have to read the executive session first?
I don't know that we ever really moved beyond public hearings. We're still doing that. So I don't know if there's anything wrong with asking a question. We better clear it up if we can.
Go ahead and ask your question, sir.
My question is, you've got one building that is metal with metal, whatever, around it. You've got one that's hardy plank. Which would you make this build, if you were granted a variance, which would you prefer? Would you do the hardy plank to be
The first-
consistent?
First choice would be metal, or it matches the metal building, but if it's not, at least the hardy plank, I mean, I think it's gonna look silly to put a brick building and there's nothing brick anywhere in the area. So it's just-
Okay, so the hardy plank would be acceptable, and the justification would be, it's similar to the newer building that was constructed.
I think so. Ms. Kelly, do you have any more comments or questions? Were you able to hear the discussion about the hardy plank versus the metal?
Yes, I can hear it just fine. So the question that I have at this point in time is, are we going to be voting on this specific variance?
I don't think we're, on the agenda, we're only voting for a variance from masonry, and we're not voting for or against masonry or steel or metal.
I mean, that was my question, is that we're going to vote on the variance regarding this?
I think we are. Is that,
If they grant the variance, can they be specific about what they're going to allow?
What they're gonna allow?
Okay.
oh,
You can,
okay.
you can say hardy plank.
I just as a reminder, the requirements regarding a request and provision of a variance, it's allowed for in your zoning ordinance, but the requirements are set forth in the statute. It's a state statute that says you have to find an unnecessary hardship that exists. So it's not just part of the ordinance, it's the statute that makes that requirement on the board. So I just wanted to provide that as for information purposes.
All right,
So
so,
you can be specific about your motion.
okay, and it all boils down to whether you can demonstrate a hardship or not. And if the hardship is merely financial, purely financial, then it doesn't count as a hardship. So does that complicate things further, or?
It doesn't, but to compare the structures to homes that are adjacent is not a similar comparison. You have to look at over C1 and what's required and what you have in that area. And so what you have as far as C1 is the south facing building, which is masonry. You have other homes that have gone to C1 or whatever convenience that are masonry. So compared to other homes that aren't, it's not a reasonable justification because it does not, it may state the present, but it doesn't state the future, the 10, 20, to 30 years, and what you want to see in that corridor, which is going to be retail in the future.
And the corridor is Waco, Highway 5.
Yes, sir.
And not really Cobb Street, that's not the corridor, that's it.
No, sir, but you have a commercial occupancy that is addressed to Waco.
More people against them, it was, the hardy plank was granted. It did come to see me, and it was granted first without hardy on the building instead.
Okay, we'll look at the records. I mean, that's something we can't do anything about now, sir.
Do you remember the
So we'll have to
date?
just take a look at it.
Just about.
It was around January, February 2001.
That's helpful. Okay, we'll look for it.
Okay, well, all right, so, I don't know, we're still in public hearings, and I'll read items for
Actually, sir,
consideration.
you moved to number 5.
Okay, yeah, and then, yeah, we got into some public discussion, but, all right, so then, or do we want to take a vote? Well, do I have a motion as to whether we should table this or have an executive session, or whether we should take a vote?
This is going to be the session, and so we're all on the same page, because I think there might be some confusion. It appears to be some confusion. I think they'd like to get a little better understanding of what we're doing, do the right thing instead of feel like it rushed into a vote.
So I have a motion then to take this to an executive session this evening?
Can't see me.
Sir?
Yes.
Can't see me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, we're good.
Is there a second? Is there a second to take this into an executive session this evening?
Can we push it back to the back of the council meeting, or does it have to happen right now? Right now. Okay.
Well, all right, so we have to go into executive session at this time in order to take care of this. I have a motion for an executive session, but I have no second as of this time. Is there any second? Okay, the motion for an executive session fails then for lack of a second. Then that narrows it down to either voting or table. Do I have a motion for either of those?
Can I ask a question to council?
Yes, sir.
If we make the motion, as we've been discussing, is that legal?
You make the motion.
If we make the motion to grant the variance, and make acceptable the hardy plank material.
You can, if your question is, can you make your motion condition on their doing 100% hardy board? Yes, you can do that.
Okay,
So
I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a motion to allow the variance but to mandate that they use hardy plank on the exterior of their metal building or the exterior of the building, period. And so do I have a second on that motion? Do I have a second on the motion to allow the variance and to mandate hardy plank on the exterior of the building?
I'll second that motion.
All right, and Ms. Kelly seconds that motion. All in favor of allowing the variance and mandating the hardy plank? We have 2 in favor. And Ms. Kelly, did you vote aye?
Yes.
Okay, so we have 3 votes in favor, votes opposed. All right, 1 vote opposed. All right, the motion passes to allow the variance but to mandate hardy plank on the exterior of the building.
75% on the floor. Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm sorry. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, sorry.
Thank you for confirming that.
So we're legal? Yes. Nod of the head of our council. So, all right. Well, then we'll move on. Let's see, all right. Now, that's all for the zoning board of adjustment. And so we're going to adjourn from the zoning board of adjustment, and the time that I have is 7:03 p.m. And we're going to convene 7:09. Well, okay, I stand corrected, it's 7:09. And we're going to move on to the city council special call meeting. This is a special call meeting only because it's normally the second Tuesday of each month, but we looked like we were going to have some conflicts, not enough people here, so we moved it to this Tuesday, and that's why it's a special call meeting, not a regular meeting. Nonetheless, the agenda, we can still work over the same agenda. So, and I'm calling it to order at 7:10, after all my blabbing. All right, citizens' communications, do we have any of those?
No, sir.
Okay. And we have a presentation by Mr. Frank Baker, City Manager, Public Works Director, Steve White.
Mayor and council, in working to resolve past issues that haven't been done timely, Steve and I have 3 of our employees that we'd like to recognize. PD has done an excellent job in record keeping, and so when Chief Barnes had presented the 10-year plaque to Chuck Milner, we started working on who are we missing overall as far as the whole team. And we've missed 3 employees. They're all here tonight. Steve has his employee plaque to present, and then I have 2 more.
Justin?
And Steve's welcome to say anything and everything that's complimentary about you.
He is a very dedicated person for the city. He's been here 13 years. He's very knowledgeable, and he assists me quite a bit every day. And he's made my job a whole lot easier, and I appreciate it.
What is his name?
Justin Johnson.
Stay right here. We're going to get, Rodney's going to take a picture, and we'll need to get council up here. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Timberly in the picture. The second employee to recognize is Judy Kimsey, 10 years of service, City of Van Alstyne. She's our library director. I'd like to have Judy come on up and present her with her 10-year plaque. She reached 10 years. Justin reached 10 years. This is what makes it embarrassing. for me. But Justin reached his 10 years back on June of 2013. So think about that for a second. Okay. Judy reached her 10 years on May of 2014. So all those are blessings. We're trying to do these chronologically as far as how we really messed this up. And the last person is Jennifer Gould. Jennifer Gould's our city clerk. She is her 10 years of service, and she reached her 10 years of service back in May of 2015. Don't trip. Outstanding employees. We appreciate their service. We don't do 5, we don't do 15, we do 10 and 20. We don't do employee of the year because that puts a bullseye on your back and really kind of gets it to where everybody's gunning for you. So by years of service, that shows that quality employees doing a quality job, and we really appreciate everything that they do. And so thank y'all. Get in here. Does council want to get up here? Get a picture of Rodney. Russell dressed for the occasion.
Straight from the track meeting.
I'm sorry, buddy. Here, I'm going to give her Jennifer. Can you fit everybody in, Rodney?
We'll see.
Okay.
Hey, Russell, can you get between Steve and Justin? All right, guys. There we go. We're pretty bunch. We ready? On 3, 1, 2, and 3. Good.
All right. Thank y'all.
And we have another presentation now. Item number 4 is a presentation of a certificate of appreciation to Shirley Hines.
Yes, please. Miss Shirley House,
Yes.
I give you this comparatively small representation for such an enormous amount of work and dedication that you have given our city and our library. 30 years of service Shirley has given our city and our library, and the last 4 of those 30 years serving as president of the Friends of the Library. This is just a small token of the enormous respect and esteem that we all hold in it for you.
Thank you.
Promise not to make me cry. I'm close.
You ready?
Yeah.
And can we get the rest of the Friends of the Library or anybody that we can?
Yes, they're almost all.
Yes.
Most of the regulars are all here. Come on.
Please come over for a photograph.
Pat, come on.
Yes, she made it.
Yes. That's okay.
All right, Judy, here you go.
Oh, here comes Pat. I'm so slow. I think you might have been in here longer.
All right, guys, ready? 3, 1,
Hands up.
2, and good. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to be around. I just want to thank all of these people that came up here that come to the regular meetings. We are a really good group. We're all really close, and I'm not leaving the friends because all of these friends of the library are my personal friends. And so if you've come to the breakfast, you'll see how everybody works together. It's like real good, the best teamwork you can imagine. Everybody fills in. The next president will be Arnold Barrett. He will be a good one. Yes.
No pressure there.
So I'll make a plug for the breakfast the first Saturday of every month here. And it's $5 now for all you can eat, and it's big. And we're going to have 2 book sales this year instead of 1. There's going to be one in April and one in September. So we can spread the books out and have it better on us old folks. Thank you very much for this.
Shirley, I want to say, because it won't show on camera, but I want to say we have about 50 people here, and I've held a few meetings, but this is the first standing ovation I've ever seen.
Wow. Thank you.
And so, for the city council special call meeting, we have no public hearing, and we're going to move on to the consent agenda. And there are 1, 2, there are 6 items, 7.
No, I'm sorry. Regular agenda is 12.
And I'll read all 6 items of the consent agenda. Number 6 is approval of minutes from February 9, 2016, regular meeting. Number 7 is consider and take any action necessary regarding approval of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Van Alstyne, Texas, granting the petition of the owner of an area of land to annex the area into the City of Van Alstyne, setting the dates, time, and place for public hearings on the proposed annexation on the voluntary petition of owners for approximately 2.413 acres of land described on Exhibit A, in parentheses, it says generally located in the area of County Road 375 East, in parentheses, generally located in the area north of County Road 375 East of US Highway 75 and east of Kelly Lane, just south of where Village Parkway runs east and west, end of parentheses. Authorizing the preparation of service plans and notification of property owners, railroads, and school districts, authorizing and directing the city clerk to publish notice of such public hearings and establish an effective date. That's all item number 7. Now, on a consent agenda, it's yes or no. Here, we establish a date for a public hearing. So does that need to come off the consent?
It's established in the resolution.
Oh, okay, all right. And number 8, item number 8, consider and take any action necessary regarding approval of an ordinance to abandon an alleyway in Block 11 of the original town plat at the southeast corner of South John Douglas Road and Alstyne Place. Item number 9, consider and take any action necessary regarding the preliminary plat for the South Grayson Water Corporation addition, 3.87 acres, being part of the James McKinney survey, abstract number 770, Van Alstyne, Grayson County, Texas, located near the northwest corner of North Hill Street and Kepler Road. That's item number 9. Item number 10, consider and take any action necessary regarding the final plat for Summer Lake Country Estates, 18.385 acres, being part of the William Prager survey, abstract number 164, Van Alstyne, Collin County, Texas, located near the northwest corner of Collin County Road 1106 and Collin County Road 377. That's item number 10. Item number 11 on the consent agenda, consider and take action regarding authorizing advertisement of the wastewater treatment plant UV system bid for the replacement of the ultraviolet system. And those are all of the items on the consent agenda. Are there any questions or comments about anything on the consent agenda? Anything that needs to come off the consent agenda? Okay. Ms. Kelly, everything okay on the consent agenda?
Yes, everything's fine.
All right. So can I have a motion to approve the 6 items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
All right, Mr. Moore moves.
I'll second.
Mr. Jaskis seconds. All in favor? All right. Okay, it is unanimous, so all of the items on the consent agenda are approved. Now we move on to the regular agenda, and there's just one item there. Consider and take any action necessary regarding amending the Van Alstyne Community Development Corporation fiscal year 2015-2016 operating budget to increase funds for attorney fees. That is item number 12. Is there a presentation? Okay.
Mayor, City Councilman, City Manager, I gave you documents showing our minutes for Van Alstyne Community Development Corporation for February, where I brought to their attention that we received an invoice for the EDC that also included fees for CDC when we asked advice from Attorney Julie Moore regarding projects, whether we can legally fund those. She provided us with a memorandum stating that we could. So that invoice was put in the Economic Development Corporation with their fees. So I went ahead and paid it, but brought to the CDC's attention that they did in fact owe the $471. In the past, I'll also give you our budget. In the past, we've never really set aside funds for attorney's fees because in the past, they were nominal and the city paid for them. So what I'm asking you today is, if you'll notice in the minutes, the CDC board has authorized me to come and request y'all to amend our budget to allow for $2,000 in the instance that we need to incur attorney's fees. That way we don't have to ask the city to pay for them.
Is it fair to say that both the EDC, our Economic Development Corporation, and CDC, Community Development Corporation, they're both doing a lot more business. They both have, each corporation has more assets than they used to have. They're doing a lot of business.
That would be a true assessment, Mayor. Also, you have, I have 7 board members on my community development and 5 members on my economic development. And they're very, very conscientious in what they want to do. And prior to, voting on anything, they want to make sure that it is in fact funds that both organizations can fund legally.
And so in both cases, both corporations, the contracts that you guys write up are getting a little more complicated,
Yeah.
more and more so.
Yes, sir.
So you want to make sure you're squared away with legal.
Right, yes, sir, and not create a financial burden on the city by having them pay for it. We want to be a little more responsible.
Okay? Are there any questions or comments from the council?
One question. $2,000 is for total legal expenses, not just for one letter, right?
I'm sorry?
$2,000, that's for future legal
Yes, sir,
expenses
in
also?
the instance that they come up.
Very good.
Any more questions or comments? Ms. Kelly, any questions or comments? And so, I would entertain a motion regarding the amending of the Van Alstyne CDC Corporation operating budget to increase funds for attorney fees. All right, Mr. Jaskis so moves. Second? I'll second. All right, Mr. Blake seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it is unanimous, and so the CDC can amend their budget. Now, we have no item. Do we have any items for an executive session? Okay, then we'll move on to departmental reports.
Steve? Yes, sir. We've submitted all our applications to FEMA. We're just waiting on their review on all the storm damage. So it's still in the process of being reviewed and processed. Also, Public Works right now is, with the county, is working on South Main Street, and to get it back in shape for this next year. And we've got a lot of roads already ground, and they'll set for a couple of weeks, and then we'll come back with a pavement on it as soon as it can pass. That's it.
You want to talk about blasting game?
Oh, yeah, we have a sewer collapse on it, and it could be several things from age to the vibrator that runs over the road that caused the collapse. We're gonna dig it up Thursday and make some repairs.
Judy?
Mayor and council, these statistics represent February of 2016. 7 adult programs collectively attended by 35 people. Teen programs, we had 1 collectively attended by 6. Children's programs were 8 with 84 children and 55 adults attending, which is an increase from the month prior. Our door count is steadily increasing, a 286 count increase from last month, bringing us up to 1757 for the month of February. Our circulation also reflects that, increasing by 267 items. We had a total number of new patrons for February 44. So people are coming in and using our services, which is why we are there. As Shirley mentioned, we do have a lot of changes going on with the library and Friends of the Library. So I was very gratified at the last Friends of the Library meeting, which was held on February 4th, that we had 15 members present, which is probably about twice of what we usually have. And so the new faces and the help are welcome, and we've got some big changes coming in. They'll be certain to keep your price up.
Chief?
Mayor and Council, since February the 9th, Communications has answered 4,578 calls on a non-emergency line, 223 911 calls. And for the police department, we've had 886 calls for services, 40 incidents. At least 6 of them were driving while intoxicated offenses, 1 being a felony. We've had 4 drug-related offenses. We've had 3 unauthorized use of motor vehicles, which is very high for us, but all 3 of the vehicles have been recovered. 1 assault family violence, 1 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and numerous other calls. One thing I wanted to touch base on, which has made the news quite a bit, is what the news calls an attempted abduction over here at Dallas and Jefferson on the 25th of last month. There was never a encounter between the child and the person in the vehicle. We are working with Collin County's task force, including the FBI and Texas Rangers, because they've had similar incidents down in the Collin County area. Today, during an intelligence meeting, it was determined that the case in Princeton, that's the most recent that most of y'all have probably seen, was not related to the other sightings in the area. And Anna and Melissa, the suspect, actually spoke to the victim and tried to lure them in. In our case, our victim, an 8-year-old, basically seen a vehicle and got scared and ran to a house where they called 911. So we are working with the task force, but you're probably going to see it again because the news media continues to play off of an abduction in Van Alstyne. We have not had an abduction, really not even a criminal offense. So other than an 8-year-old seeing a suspicious vehicle. The driver met the same description as what was in Collin County, but through our investigation we learned that the mother had spoke to the daughter 2 days prior and gave her the description that was off the news. We don't want to say that she may have taken that out of concept, so we're still working with Collin County, hopefully locating the individuals they're looking for. That's it.
Thank you. Jennifer?
For the administrative department in the month of February, we responded to 9 requests for public records and accepted 2 zoning petitions and 1 variance petition. Issued 6 commercial permits for mechanical, electrical, signs, demolition, and 1 certificate of occupancy to the Shabby Pig at 240 East Marshall, as well as 4 residential permits for plumbing, re-roofing, foundation repair, fencing, and a miscellaneous accessory structure for a total of 11 permits. We also accepted and entered 37 new utility accounts, 3 mailing address changes, 1 additional waste can request, 3 utility account transfers, 16 utility account disconnections, and 1 leak adjustment. We also processed 112 purchase orders and issued 76 general fund checks, 59 water fund checks, 6 insurance trust fund checks, 1 court technology fund check, 1 court security fund check, and 1 S&N enterprise fund check for a total of 141 checks. And also wanted to make sure everyone is aware that City Hall will be closed on Friday, March 25th, 2016 in observance of Good Friday.
Scott, does engineering have any updates?
The only update I think I'd like to talk about this time is just the disinfection system at the treatment plant. We're ready to go with plans and advertising on that. So that was just authorized and consent agenda. So be jumping on that because it's definitely as quick as possible.
Mayor and Council, you're representing the fire department. Guys got a call earlier and hadn't returned. The fire department for the month of February received 92 EMS calls, 33 fire-related calls, total of 125 for the month. 28 non-emergency transports, and total call volume for February is 153. Lieutenant Powell and Caleb Cockrell completed fire instructor training and are now working on their officer certifications. And also Adam Hutash and Lieutenant Thompson attended fire inspector class and are working towards that certification. And the last statement was the fire department's running great. There you go from the fire department. City manager report. Okay. We're working with Golden Chick. We've had a request from the property owner for the punch list, as well as Golden Chick Corporate. So the pressure is on the franchisee to perform the final punch list and to hopefully open Golden Chick in the near future. Water lines near completion up on the north end around the college. They're going to be pushing underneath 75, and they've been working underneath Highway 5 over by Well 6 down there, County Line Road and Highway 5. Because of the rain, the pipe bursting that they were doing for the sewer line, they've completed the majority of it, but they're doing their deep push, which is at 3133 around Industrial Parkway. That's really what I have as far as that's concerned. I'll be coming to y'all next month. Been working with engineering. DART wants to redraw 8 agreements. They had stated in the meeting that they should not be charging us for utility lines that we have within a right-of-way. Engineering and working with engineering, they've identified that 5 out of the 8 are within right-of-ways. So we're looking for, it was supposed to be on this agenda for y'all to look at that agreement, but since engineering's identified those 5, we're working with DART to shore up that agreement to only hopefully be charged for 3 in the future. But of course, once we get that agreement, we'll be pushing it over to legal for them to look through it. Other than that, just want to tell staff how much I appreciate the hard work they've been doing, and thank you.
I'm not sure whether this is allowed or not, but I'm going to try it. I've done this before. So. We have a couple of, I think the 2 people that are running for council, it'd be nice if they were introduced that way. Paul, you want to stand and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a business owner downtown. I live in the historic area of Van Alstyne. I've been here about 2.5 years and involved in Keep Van Alstyne Beautiful, Van Alstyne History. Got a website, vanalstynehistory.org. Pretty much covers most of the history of Van Alstyne, so got a good chance to learn a lot about that. Help a lot of businesses in town to get their message out. Probably got a dozen or so actual clients here in Van Alstyne, so I've got a real finger on the button of what they're up to, so I'm kind of into the sort of streamlining the small business bureaucracy, if you will, and so it's a pretty thick book for everyone to sort of start a small business here, so I wanted to get an easy button in there somehow. We'll start here.
And Paul? I mean, Brad?
Good. My name is Brad Clough. I've been kind of involved with the community since 2007. Me and my wife moved here 2010-ish. I work in sales and in a consulting capacity for hospitality industry and some healthcare divisions, long-term care facilities, nursing facilities, skilled nursing, rehab, those kinds of things. So, I'm running for city council. I've got, my wife is a middle school art teacher here in Van Alstyne, and we have 2 young children. So that's why I'm choosing to be involved in the community and looking at our children's futures. I'm sure maybe your parents, grandparents that are concerned about those things. So that's kind of where I come from. That's how I'm approaching my things. So thank you all.
Keep up. Now, whether that's legal or not, I usually do and then find out they're all
You know, it's done, it's on the record.
No pancakes coming out here.
Mr. Wood?
Oh, I just want to thank our staff. You guys have been working hard. I know that all the rains and all of the police department been busy with the scare with the guy running around North Texas, and the library's been working hard to make a lot of big improvements, and I know Jennifer's always working hard to keep things running up there, and of course Frank with everything that's been going on with the growth of this town. This place has definitely been full, and also having to make sure the fire department's covered. And I get to talk to these guys every once in a while, and just to get a good feel of what they do and what's going on. And these guys are working a lot harder than probably most people realize. And they've really put a lot of their heart and soul into this town. And I just want to tell you guys thank you for y'all's hard work.
Couldn't said it any better myself. It's really Russ. I'd like to echo that. Also, I would also like to say that I think our town is blessed to have so much talent in each one of these positions, and we're also blessed to have a good population of citizens. We've got, looking out here, we've got just about everybody out here is a volunteer in some capacity. We're a very close-knit community, and I'm proud to be part of it.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes, I want to thank Shirley House again for her service to us. I'm so proud of the library work it does for the city. And also beautiful, also we have so many amazing volunteers in our town. I want to just echo what the others have said. Just thank you all so very much. We are all what makes this city wonderful all together.
And I want to say that our departments here, I mean, we have our very own. We're not contracting out public works or police or EMS or fire. These department heads, administration, and all the rest of them, they make up cornerstones for this city. And this city is on a very solid foundation because of their work and also because of the volunteer spirit of the community. And so I thank everyone. And I guess we can adjourn now. Okay, we have more than one motion. All in favor? It is unanimous. And at 7:41, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.